Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, stand to your feet and make noise for Gresh Unleashed!
Let's go! When the club go around here, I'm the cactus. Bang, bang, gang, I don't owe you jack. When I'm in the ring, it's just me and my best friends. OC cutting no slack. Hollywood Miz, you can put me on the A-list. Gresh Unleashed, better put it on your playlist. Me and my fam be ballin' like the Bruce. Fight night, baby, hard hitting like Sheamus. Family first, yes, bloodline business. Winning all the gold, look at how they witness. I was taught to be the greatest. 1,000 days I'm running, check out the book of Guinness. Coolin' with the baddies in the baddie section. Guarantee you they ain't jaded. Hero, you baby face, I ain't feeling your gimmick. The fans think it's overrated. Brock Lesnar on the beast. Eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. Whole new swag with a price on the tag. Coming live from the west to the east. Better recognize on the mouthpiece. See the power level gotta increase. Bringing content on a daily. Feeling like Gresh Unleashed.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary pals, baby mamas, baby daddies, and everybody in between. Welcome back to the Gresh Unleashed podcast. This is episode 92 of the show that brings you the good vibes to the best of our abilities. Joining you as always is the voice that does the most, the purveyor of mischief, Gresh. And my phone just dropped for some reason. But joining me as always is my main man, my right-hand man, my partner and the Prince of Botch himself, the voice of the Unleashed Anthem, Mr. Hi-Lite. Real, what's good with you, brother?
What's up, good peoples? Top of the evening, top of the night. I mean, really at this point. But hey,
Yeah,
I hope
nice way to wind down the festivities.
You know it.
This is a Monday feeling Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay. I can see the feels on that. I can see the feels on that, fam. Yeah. I see the vision. Yeah. Happy Title Tuesday, everybody. Shout out to King Coley, you know what I'm saying? If you got your championships, I see my boy got big gold. It's actually right behind his head right about now. But you know, Title Tuesday. Show your belts on today. If you're out there, you know what it is, man. Let's get it.
Oh yeah, I had to put the belt right here. I'm like, once the regular, I'm still on the temp setup, but once the regular desk gets here, I'll probably try to focus the belt so I won't have to go out the way.
Sure.
Do like, hey, it's right there. Or I might buy new belts. More belts just to figure out, just to put stuff in these cubes because it's a big old cube behind me. It used to be two, now it's just one. The two is downstairs, so.
When I get my new spot,
we at the new spot, so you already know. But,
bro.
Man. Not a lot, but a lot of stuff has happened in the world of professional wrestling for the past couple of weeks. Right now, NXT is still finding its groove on the CW. Have you been peeping NXT on the CW lately?
The day after, because I don't have CW on my particular.
I'm talking about like, what's your thoughts on it? Like, I ain't talking about live, but like, because we don't even cover it no more. But like, what's your thoughts on it? Like, from what you've seen.
I like the presentation so far. I mean, these first 2 weeks were better. They felt like PLEs, but I guess tonight's probably feeling a lot different since it's probably back in the PC.
I'm
assuming. So that probably just feels like a regular show again. You know what I mean? I do like the new logo. You know, the platinum and black, I guess now. Loving some of the crossover we're getting. You know, shout out to Jakara Jackson, the Meta Girls, because you know they're not the Meta 4 anymore these days.
Because no one's still injured.
Yeah, and Oral Mensah's just kind of there. He's just around.
He just had a match with Lexis King again. It was a Gentleman's Rules, basically their version of the Pure Rules, Ring of Honor.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not a fan of those type of matches. I mean, if you are, good for you. But me, I'm good.
To each his own, man. To each his own.
Yeah.
But I'm rocking with it though. I mean, you know, it's just cool to see them on a new network and with new eyes, if you will, to those who are CW fans. Real quick though.
CW fans.
Exactly. And speaking of which, real quick side rant. I know you didn't too much care for the show, but I ain't gonna lie, I watched all 3 seasons for the seasons that it was there. All American Homecoming. You know, that final season probably had to be one of the most crammed, frustrating seasons of all time. I was like, let me get this straight, Simone. So tennis brought you to this school, and this poor school just went through the motions of just all kind of things. It basically took the athletics program, and all the athletics programs slowly started getting cut and pretty much, 86th. Tennis program ended up probably being the only program because everything else got cut. And I'm just like, okay. And then the love angle with Simone finding herself in yet another love triangle, as if it wasn't enough being in one with Jordan and the new dude that you came to this school with, Damon. Now all of a sudden this other dude comes with a picture named Lando, and then it's Damon and Lando, and then they left on the cliffhanger of the second season, like, I got my decision. You choose Damon, but then like 3 or 4 episodes into this new season, all of a sudden, it just, yeah. Yes, this is, yes, what really grinds my gears. Thank you. But no, like, how she found herself back in another love triangle really, it just baffles me, because then I'm like, so the guy you chose, you ended up breaking up with like 4 episodes in because he went pro or something? No, he had to move to Puerto Rico to play ball out there before then eventually going pro. But then the guy that you basically rejected kind of didn't want to be friends with you, and you still wanted to be friends, and then he made that awkward. Sorry, y'all, my camera. Sorry about that. I'm here. It's just my camera. There we go.
Yeah. Speaking of cameras, luckily when we do in person, I'm working on a second one, so we ain't got to worry about cameras getting lost.
For sure. But nah, man. Yeah, Simone was just and she had breast cancer. That was the main focus of this season, supposedly. Out of the blue. And I'm like, boy, y'all really tried to just take this final season and just, it was bruh. I was like, you know what?
They was creating drama to create drama.
Yeah.
In other words, you just said love triangle, random sickness out of nowhere. Yeah, I see. It's nice to know that the CW has not changed.
They have not, and I'm terrified the fact that they still got one more All-American season coming, and I'm just like, oh boy.
I kind of want them to cancel it just to put it out of their misery. Like after let that be the final season.
It should, because they were saying Spencer's likely not even going to really be on it like that.
He's not. He's not the main. He's not the main anymore because he don't had his pretty much his happy ending.
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, what's the point? just end it, y'all. Just end it. I don't know, man. I have no idea. Like you said, they might as well just cancel that and just, I don't know, bro. Because All-American Homecoming got this little swan song. Go ahead and just give All-American hits. Let that be that, and just keep on moving with, WWE. Because that's all you got going for you now, NXT.
It's a good thing that I'm busy. I ain't got to watch all that bull, because that sounds miserable.
Yeah, I did it out of respect. You know what I'm saying? I like, hey, when I watch something, I ain't gonna check out of it. I'm gonna just try to, unless it just gives me a complete reason to be like, bruh, nah. this is what it. Empire did it that one time. I was just like, yep, no, Once you start, what was it, cursing Jesus or something like that, I was like, yep, nope, that's it. I was like, bye, see you, Empire. Oh, Love Island, but for the Performance Center. Okay, that's what's up. Eddie James, what's happening? What's up?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I tapped out on Empire when he had a threesome with a ghost. So you laughed.
Oh, bro, I forgot about that. Yo, hey, I ain't gonna lie. That was kind of crazy though, because I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, it was a lot, but it was kind of crazy because it was like, my nigga, wait a minute, she dead. You mean this is a ghost? How is that possible? I was like, how are you doing that with a ghost?
I'm like, all sense of logic just left. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna leave too.
Yeah, they that shows like that, Star, man, all them shows just They were like playing freaking what is it? Pinball. There we go.
You just back and forth, like to the point where you just be like, you know what? I'm good.
Hey, that's a good little side question for y'all, chat. What's a show that y'all checked out on literally just where it started off hot and then after like maybe a season or two you were just like, yeah, nah, I'm done.
Shit, I got a lot. Like pretty much majority of all of Tyler Perry's BET shows.
Oh my goodness. I can't even tell you one that I ever watched.
I checked out on the reboot of House of Pain after one season.
The reboot?
I checked out on that Assistant Living with the Browns.
Oh yeah, I remember that show.
I checked out on Sisters after a while because I'm like, okay, this is getting out of hand. I checked out Bruh when he had it on BET Plus. I checked out it's like a lot of his shows is because it punches you in the face so quick. He has no sense of build. So I just checked out on all of them. I'm like, you know what? Instead of me hate watching Tyler Perry's work, I'm just not gonna watch. As far as like CW shows, I'm gonna go back in time. I checked out a Gossip Girl after season 1.
Ooh.
I checked out of 90210, the reboot.
The reboot
after season 2.
That. Okay.
I checked out of what's another show that started? I checked out of all of the Vampire Diary shows after the third season.
What about Pretty Little Liars?
I checked out after the fifth season because you can tell that Marlene King did not have a plan.
Man, seriously, bro.
And then she had the nerve to make 2 spinoffs.
Yeah, I was
the Pretty Little Liars, Ravenswood, or something like that nobody watched, and she had Pretty Little Liars, The Perfectionist. Man. I was actually living in Texas when I watched that show, and I was just like, this show is all right, but it's not my cup of tea. But then when I realized and processed, I'm like, it's the same concept as the original show again. Mm-hmm. No wonder your shit got canceled.
Mm-hmm. Damn, bro.
Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta.
I checked out
after I checked out after like the first 2 seasons because it got repetitive. My sister kept watching it though. Yeah. I never checked into any of the Zeus shows, so I'm not even worried about that. So there's a lot of shows that I just checked out to the point where it's just now I don't even waste my time getting invested in a lot of new shows anymore.
Yeah, I can understand what you mean on that. I'm kind of the same way. It really has to be something so story driven because, you know, for me it was like, I mean, CW shows, shoot, you already know, Black Lightning, Flash,
I checked out of that. And like, I think I checked out of that in the middle of his run and then came back for like the last season.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, ugh, all right, you know. Pretty much the whole Arrowverse. After a while, it was just like, yeah.
Arrow after season 3.
Well, for me, it was like season 4 because season 4 was just that magic.
Whenever he faced Ra's al Ghul, that's when I started checking out.
That was 3, and then 4 was the one with the Damien dude with the magic, and that's when I was just kind of like, okay,
that's what I'm saying. I started checking out after that. I'm like, all right.
It was just like, what the freak.
The Flash, ironically, after season 2, because it got repetitive after a while.
Yeah, that show never recovered after he did something that switched time, just trying to save, per usual, Iris. He ran back in time somehow, and he just completely switched everything.
I definitely watched Abbott Elementary. I just got to catch up on the new season.
Me too.
The last 2 seasons.
I like that dry humor show. It's really cool, and I gotta get back on it because I fell off track too. But I'm trying to think of what I checked out on that also was like non-CW. Good lord, man! Sometimes it was sitcoms.
Like a lot of Netflix shows I checked out.
Oh yeah.
After season 1, I never went back.
You like, I never even gave it a shot. So hey, I'm right there with you, brother. You got one on me. I'm glad you said Netflix. I checked out to anybody remembers Dion said Raising Dion. Raising Dion. I checked out after that first season because that season 2
Raising
was
Dion. Oh yeah. I didn't even
yeah.
get past the first 3 episodes.
It had a slow start, but it was a really good show. Like as it got like midway toward the end, it was really cool.
I think I was just tired. That's
Yeah,
probably why I
you could
never
have been.
finished.
Yeah, like that first season was compared to the second one. That first one was like, oh, this is good, but like the second season took too long, and then eventually just like, what the hell is this? It was just, it had potential, and then it just
I remember the lead actress from Shadowhunters on Freeform.
Okay, yeah, that's a good
She was
one.
on there. I watched that all the way through, so I can't even claim that to check out, even though it had its moments where I was like, all right, you're doing too much. Even for a supernatural show.
The Game, we all know we checked out of that. God dang it! After
checked out
the
of
first
that.
time it got canceled, after that first. Now I will say Paramount did a reboot of it that I thought was pretty cool with how they did it.
I think I saw the first season.
Yeah, the first season, and somehow they once again canceled, and I was just like, just give it up at this point. Don't bring that show back, people. Please don't. Like, I don't want to see that cast come together again. Just y'all go y'all separate ways and let that be that. That show that had about 3 reboots. Yeah, exactly. That show that had about 3 different reboots in the span of like the past 20 years. It's crazy.
Well, that's enough sidetrack from us. Like, if you guys enjoy these little rambling sessions from us, just let us know, because we know a lot of y'all are tuned in to hear us talk about the wrestles and all that stuff.
For sure.
But yeah, man. The title of this episode is Old Yeller. I did that out in advance because the main focus of the show is literally the end of Bryan Danielson's full-time in-ring career from WrestleDream. Did you peep that at all?
I did.
What did you think about it? Well, I guess that's a nice segue into Chop It Up with the Fam. Like, what did you think about WrestleDream overall?
It was a show. That's it. It was a show.
This man literally hit y'all with the
exactly no pop.
Hey, I mean, what's happening? What's up, my boy? It was cool. Like, I mean, in terms of if you pick him, pick.
Oh yeah, I'm not going through the whole thing. Like, no.
It's not worth going through. It's
only a couple of highlights. Pun intended.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the main event. We'll get into that for a second, but
the triple threat. I guess we can start there.
Yeah.
And let's get Takeshita versus Will Ospreay versus Ricochet with the heel turn.
Okay, so
could you even say heel turn because he was already a heel?
Yeah, he was already a heel, and we saw the Kyle Fletcher thing a mile away. Remember, I texted you that very first time they did that little tag team tournament thing. I was like, he's totally turning, isn't he? And we were like, yep. We were just waiting on it, and I was like, oh, there it is, finally. Okay, there's that turn. So, surprise, right? Okay. I was listening to some people talk about some stuff on this, and one, people were kind of ranting about the whole hoodie run-in thing. Do you think that's overdone with people putting on black hoodies?
It is. You want to know why? Do you want to know why? We just saw a Samoa nigga literally last week.
Yes, we did.
Return in a black hoodie.
Yes, we did.
It's done to death at this point.
Bro, seriously. No, seriously. Like, it really is overdone. And it's like, stop with the black hoodie, okay? We know it's you, my ninja. Put on a mask or something. Like, what?
This nigga came out looking like blonde Troy Bolton turning on Corbin Blue's character. Like what the hell are we doing?
Bruh, you know.
Bet on it, bet on it. Like
I know, bro. I know. It was ugh, you know.
and
But
then he started yelling. I was like, bro, this brother think it's Dragon Ball Z right now.
yeah, he must have been playing that new Dragon Ball Z game because he just was like, you know what?
It was a Sparking Zero.
Sparking Zero, yeah. He started playing a little bit too much of that and just, he was in the moment like, like, all right, bro, chill out. Say that for the anime. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, dude, yeah. I mean,
and shout out to Nigel McGuinness. He didn't do the whole guessing game. He said that's Kyle Fletcher.
yeah. Nigel was funny because he was just like, yeah, we're not gonna do all of this tonight. Yeah, this is what it is. So, okay, cool match and all, but yet another thing that I've heard people talk about that you talked about first.
Mm-hmm.
You said it first. So Ricochet, sir, listen, step to the front, please. Okay? Now, why exactly did you choose to come to AEW? Because literally you are not standing out, my guy. One, ironically, as JD said when I heard him say this, and I laughed because I was like, that's actually kind of funny because it's true. What the f*** is Ricochet doing in AEW? We have a bunch of Ricochets already that can do exactly what he can do, probably even better.
He should have been there in 2019.
Exactly. No, for real. Because literally, there's a bunch of him there. Okay? The only difference...
That are faster. And that's all due respect.
Yeah. And it's like, bro, you're there and you're doing the exact same thing. Your character is the same character. Everything is basically WWE you in another company where you get to wrestle people you know or wanted to wrestle. So I want to open that to you, brother, to also kind of just rant, explain, vent, whatever you want to do in regards to this Ricochet situation. Because what are we going to do? I mean, get your money, but good Lord.
Get your money, but it's just like, I was kind of, if anybody needed a heel turn here, it was him.
Ooh, true.
Just to switch it up.
That's one thing we didn't get from him in WWE. So yeah, that would have at least made something.
Just to switch it up, like it's like this is not to discredit his in-ring work. He is phenomenal talent, but it stops there. Like oh, it's like, and then when he came, it was like, oh, cool, you're in AEW, but it's just like I didn't pop because I'm like, oh, it was inevitable that you was gonna go to AEW if you didn't re-sign with WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
And like MFB said, to be fair, this match was the best he has looked since coming to AEW. That's what I'm saying. We're not discrediting him in this match. He held his he was incredible. I'm not gonna lie to you. The match itself was fun to watch. But as far as from an investment point of view, they really didn't give me nothing outside of the heel turn or the betrayal. I can't even say heel turn no more because he was heel. The betrayal.
Facts, bro. And
but as far as Ricochet, it's just like he don't want to need the turn. He'll switch it up or something. I'm not saying the line with Don Callis in them because Don Callis, people attached to Don Callis don't really go nowhere in this company. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Takeshita finally won something. What does that tell you?
And we're gonna get to that in a second because I got some thoughts on that. But yeah, other than that, Ricochet is like, yeah, I just want him to switch it up and do something because he's the Kobe Bryant of it in his words. But it's just like in ring, yeah, but character wise, interest wise, I'm not feeling it.
And I gotta agree with you there, bro, because I'm just sitting there. It's like I've actually been enjoying some of these rants I'm hearing on AEW as of late. Where it's like, and I'm not an AEW, we're not AEW haters, but like we said, we
just call it like we see it.
Yeah, and it's like, it's funny because again, we'll get to the women's division in a second, but it was like with this, it's like, okay, you're putting together, like they just, within 3 weeks of Ricochet being there, you gave us Will Ospreay and Ricochet that quickly. That could have been saved for something totally bigger on a bigger stage. But you couldn't hold yourself. And now, like they said with this Kyle Fletcher situation, hopefully, if they're smart, you slow build that a little bit so we can actually get the meat potatoes of that, given their history. But knowing Tony, might mess around and just, oh, their match is in 2 weeks. Nigga, what? You
On
can't tell us.
Dynamite 300.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's like, bro, you gotta stop doing this at some point. Because this good wrestling is only going to save you for so long. Seriously. Like, I understand AEW. I understand. I'm talking to you, AEW marks and elitists. That good wrestling stuff only works for so freaking long, bro. You gotta have story with this stuff. You know, I was talking to a guy on the way when we went to Bad Blood. I was talking to a gentleman that I had met. Shout out, ironically, his name was Josh. Shout out to Josh. And we were talking about it because we were saying how, like, okay, AEW's got the really good wrestling. WWE's got the really good storytelling. However, WWE has their moments where they have really good wrestling too, on top of the story. But then again, with AEW, every now and then there might be a few where, whether it was intentional or not, where the story is really good, and then the match ends up being just as good as the story was. AE, like Tony Storm and Mariah May, for example, right? So like, but then it's like for that every one moment, it's just that much more just thrown together stuff where you crap out these big time wrestling matches that we remember. Another good story example, Hangman Page and Swerve. Long term, they've shown they can do this, but they don't do it consistently enough where it's like, dog, the pro wrestling 5-star quality level match flippity dippity flip stuff only works and saves you for so freaking long, bro. You ain't getting mainstream with that if you trying to go mainstream, because I'll be like, all right, that's cool, but I can get some of that over here. What's up with the story? What's keeping me invested over here, bro?
I think I gave this analysis to someone in casual conversation about AEW, and I was just more so like, I feel like they know that they have a guaranteed contract for the next probably, I think, 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care to reach the mainstream. They want to be 100% the alternative to where they 100% want to be pure wrestling. And honestly, I think I've convinced myself that that is okay, to the point where just like, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, repeating myself over and over again when it comes to the stories. Like, hey, give us more in-depth story across the board, not just in the main scene or in the main event, or don't give me one intriguing story per year or per term or per every 6 months. Give me main intriguing stories across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Like you mentioned, Tony Storm, Mariah May, compelling.
Mm-hmm.
Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page, compelling. Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny Omega a couple of years back, compelling.
Mm-hmm.
This current situation with the current incarnation of the beatdown, what was it, the BCC? The Blackpool Combat Club? I don't even know if they still go by the Blackpool Combat Club. Dictator Jon Moxley and his followers. I'm just going to call them that. That's compelling. But I need that across the board.
Yeah.
Because we just mentioned Mariah May and Tony Storm, their compelling story. What are they doing with Mariah May right now?
Exactly.
What is next for her?
Not even just that. What are they doing with the women's division as a whole? They've taken 10 steps back again. Everything Tony Storm literally built is slowly going down the drain. Because now...
See, that's the thing with that. Tony Storm built Mariah. What did he do?
She did build Mariah. She
didn't really build the division, because I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. A lot of people was only interested in Mariah and Tony, but not the entire division.
True.
From my eyes, just from me paying attention. I could be wrong. I'm good at being corrected, but that's just how I feel. And then everybody else just fell by the wayside until Mercedes came. And then even then, a lot of people was kind of with Mercedes until she finally wrestled.
But see, here's where I'm gonna go against you on that a little bit. Tony always seems to have his favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the rise and the fall of Britt Baker. Okay,
That's her own doing.
maybe so, but at the end of the day, that didn't stop her from being one of Tony's favorites. It wasn't until she was admittedly sick, the way she admitted when she finally came back. He spotlighted her for all of a minute, and then it just went. Yeah, nobody seems to care about her anymore like that. You're just like, okay, cool. Tony Storm, Ryan May, Mercedes, the main 3C. Well, not even Tony Storm right now, because apparently she's overseas doing some stuff for whatever reason.
But Mina, because they've been teasing that a little bit, but they're not even teasing on TV. That's more so a social media thing.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
And that's another thing too. It's like if everybody is always teasing stuff on social media, but it never translates to TV, and then that's where the disconnect happened.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they have the names, they have the division. Like, there's no excuse why. Like, the fact that Chris Stat just suddenly became a babyface that quickly again.
Apparently, they explained it on Rampage.
And who the freak watches Rampage, bro?
Not me.
My point is that, so why do you think anybody's knowing exactly what happened without explanation? You ain't, and even then, it still don't make sense. Because, like they mentioned, how did Willow end up with a title shot after losing cleanly to Chris Stat?
That's where the disconnect happens, because I can see if they turned her babyface and she immediately went after Mariah May.
Mm-hmm.
Because
exactly.
she's already been TBS champion.
Exactly.
Why is she still going after? Why is she going after a title again? Why she don't go after the world title?
Exactly, bro. You see what I'm saying?
Because you can give the excuse, oh, Willow is this relatable babyface, but you just turned Chris babyface.
Mm-hmm.
You could have easily put her in that slot and built her up.
And it's just weird, bro, because at the end of the day, it's like they're only turning women babyface just to have a babyface go against these two heel champions. You get what I'm saying? It's like, at the end of the day, truthfully, one of them should have been babyface, but you're not going to drop that title on Mercedes because you put it on her for a reason. You're not going to drop the title off Mariah May because you gave her the title for a reason, too. And so it's just like, well, shoot. And realistically, at this point, no matter who you put up against them, you're sitting there like, well, they're not beating them. Like Chris Stat versus Mercedes, sure, it's intriguing, but now do you expect, because of the sudden turn, all of a sudden, you expect her to beat Mercedes? Heck no.
Does the women's world title even hold weight anymore?
It did when Toni Storm had it. And that's what I'm saying. It's like everything she did with it is going to waste. Thunder Rosa's hurt. Yep. That's the comment right there.
Yeah. Nothing makes sense.
That's why I say that this all of this is why I say with AEW, bro, at the end of the day, yes, you can have all the 5-star shows you want. But dog, it's only going to get you so far. We ain't gonna talk about it like that, but I heard about that Chris Jericho and you know.
Oh, Jimmy. I'm about to say Jimmy Ray. Rest in peace. Jimmy Jacobs.
Mark Briscoe.
No, I'm talking about.
Oh, the Jimmy
person
Jacobs
who got
dude?
Fired.
Yeah, the Jimmy Jacobs dude. Yeah, that too. Heard about that.
Why do they keep blaming other niggas instead of the guy who makes the final call?
Because apparently he's getting these Vince McMahon comparisons now, because that's the same stuff Vince used to do. Fire people to take the blame as the scapegoat.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm looking at social media, like, oh, Jimmy Jacobs is to blame for the learning tree. Jimmy Jacobs is to blame for Takeshita not getting pushed. Jimmy Jacobs is to blame for this. And I'm like, and then apparently he didn't even get fired. He left up on his own terms. What is this rumor that he's the reason behind all? The person who is to blame is Anthony Khan.
Mm-hmm. When you make the final decisions, at the end of the day, it falls on you. And that's why I say, like,
because we don't have to like Vince, but at least he had back when he was actually tolerable,
mm-hmm.
at least he had a filter of
Yeah,
what worked and what didn't. Tony out here saying, yeah, 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 yeah. And it's like, stop that. Stop.
absolutely, man. Like, it just, I don't know, bro. It's just like, when you look at what's happening across the board, again, that wrestling factor is like, yeah, it's cool that you got quote unquote the best wrestlers in the world, and yes, we're putting on these 5-star level matches, but my nigga, like, that's cool, but it only gets you so far. If everything is just being thrown together, nobody's caring. Again, if Mark Briscoe can't get a good match out of Chris Jericho and get the crowd to care, it's Mark Briscoe, bro. And you got that crowd silent?
The fact that them putting that on as co-main event was egregious. I finished watching the show at like 7:00 tonight. So I literally saw everything. And I'm like, why is this the co-main event?
Exactly. and the other one that hurts them is the Young Bucks, because they're getting, shout out to one of the wrestling chats I'm a part of. They over there calling these niggas the Hulk Hogan of the freaking AEW right now.
They out here calling Sami Zayn Sammy Hogan or Becky Lynch Becky Hogan when they win, but you got niggas out here. It's like, dude, call an audible. Private party. It's been time.
It's been time, bro. Like, I was sitting there like, come on, Private Party, please give these belts to them. And when they lost, I'm just like, are you serious? Like, dog. And again, I heard JD and them ranting off of AEW's tag division. Like, dog, what's a tag team that you actually care to see right now? Exactly. Exactly. Not one. The Acclaim fell off the face of the earth way down. They went from being hot.
You mentioned the Acclaim.
Mm-hmm.
Remember last year, or was it the year before, when Swerve and Keith Lee were a tag team?
Right. I remember that was the year before. Yep. I remember that.
But then they called an audible and put the title on them again. You think they doing that? They gonna do that?
The only tag team that might get that kind of level of pop again is the Outrunners. As MFB was just about to just mention it right there. They have been making a lot of noise, and the fans are pushing for them to be on TV, but they still show them on like Collision and some of these B-level shows, but you're not seeing them on Dynamite like that. But I ain't gonna lie, them niggas, they funny, because like they give that retro 80s like kind of vibe. They got charisma.
I know exactly. They are hilarious. I be peeping highlights.
Yeah, they vignettes. I was sitting there, I was like, hey, they vignettes is like what they did with FTR was hilarious.
You mentioned Ricochet standing out. They actually stand out.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and FTR. There's another tag team that just fell off the face of the freaking earth. I didn't even think about it, but it wasn't until I heard when they said ever since CM Punk got fired, they ain't been the same. I said, dang.
I think a lot of people online stopped vibing with FTR when Dax with his podcast and when Cash pulled out that gun.
Mm-hmm. That's what I heard.
They kind of became a meme at this point, and it's just like every time, like I don't see FTR Hogan, like they call them Hogan when they win. That's how most people don't care.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy that Pride and Powerful, they another one. I agree, Marks. Like they definitely dropped the ball with them, the Lucha Brothers. I mean, it's so many tag
and that's
teams,
another
bro.
thing. If you're going to stand the Lucha Brothers contract, just let them wrestle. Give them something.
Nah, the doggone thing, bro. House of Black. Like, you got all of these tag teams out here that have just been the
House of Black. Speaking of them, like you got Brody King out here clashing with Darby again. What's with the start and stop with the tag team run? Is Buddy hurt again?
Dog.
Is Malachi hurt again?
My point exactly, bro. Like,
what is happening?
That's why I say it's like it's just
makes sense.
Nothing makes sense at all, bro. And it's just amazing how like I don't know if like WWE ain't perfect, but it's amazing how like they're doing things better
Oh,
with
that tag
like.
team division ass too.
Well, no. I'm not even talking about the tag team. I'm just talking about in terms of talent. Like, how is it Jade Cargill looks a lot better in WWE than she ever did in AEW? How is it
Yeah.
Ricochet comes to AEW and you've already forgotten about him because he just looks like everybody else and looks exactly like a carbon copy of what he was? Outside of Christian, outside of there's only a handful of WWE guys that actually came over there and they swam instead of sink.
Christian, Swerve.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. That's yeah. It's very limited.
There's a couple more. Christian,
There's a couple more, but it's
Swerve,
just not coming to
Tony
brain.
Storm.
Tony Storm, yeah.
And then shoot, who was the other? It was like two more. Moxley
Oh, for sure, Jon Moxley. Who's Dean Ambrose?
and Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. So Samoa
And yeah,
Joe.
Samoa Joe. Yeah, you can throw Samoa Joe in there as well. So that would be like 6. But outside of those 6 names, Miro failed. Keith Lee failed.
Wishing you well.
Wishing you well, but you know what I'm saying? Failed experience. You know what I mean? Like him and Swerve were right there together. He should have been right up here with Swerve by now. But unfortunately, health is what it is.
Health is what it is, and it's like all we could do is wish him well, and not speculate. But who else came from over there and failed?
Shoot, wishing
Now
her
let me
well.
ask you. No, let me ask you. Even though she's double champion, do you feel like this? Because I'm seeing a lot of back and forth, and it could just be Stan Twitter, and I don't give a fuck about them. Do you feel like Mercedes is not on the same level as she was when she was in New Japan, as well as the first time, as well as WWE, or do you feel like she's just now hitting her stride?
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, dog.
Let's be real.
Her New Japan, and this is even coming from like shout out to Lip Gloss and Ladders. Ash is one of the biggest Mercedes fans that I know, and even she was like, yeah, New Japan Mercedes is definitely better so far than this installment of her right now. But she feels like it's like she still got to get her legs wet with some of these other women. Like if you think about the feuds she's had, she carried that match with Britt Baker, obviously.
She's only had one feud, right? Or 2, Willow and Britt.
And Sheeta. You can throw Sheeta in there because her and
Was
Sheeta
that really a feud or just a match?
Whether it was a feud or a match, I mean, we're just going off matches in general.
I'm going based off of like for her to get her feet wet. Like feud wise, she's only had 2. And I'm guessing 3 with Chris that.
Yeah. That's kind of just starting, so we'll see how that really turns out. But I don't know, man. Kind of like you, I'm seeing a lot of negativity of her online for sure.
And these are from fans of hers, like like hardcore fans. They're like, "Oh my god, I miss WWE's." They got to use the term aura. I miss the WWE aura of Sasha Banks as opposed to AEW's aura of Mercedes Moné, and they don't realize I'm like, she's the same person, just a different nickname.
Well, yes, very true. But the difference is
different wig.
WWE definitely covered up a lot of her flaws because somehow, some way, these flaws are being exposed like crazy in AEW. I don't know how or what, but whatever WWE did with her and Sasha, they knew because she didn't cut a lot of promos like that in WWE for real. Unless they were like backstage interviews or something like that.
And the only time she really cut a promo was when it was a feud. Like it wasn't just like that's what I'm saying. That's what I meant earlier when I was like Mercedes from when she first came. A lot of people weren't feeling it until she had that match because she kept cutting promos that went nowhere.
Nowhere, bro. Yeah, it's wild, man. I'm
The
not
only
gonna.
one that went somewhere was when she got attacked in the dark, and that was Sky Blue.
Yeah, I'm all right with her. I'm not gonna say failed just yet, but she showed trending down that way. I mean, big business. What? That was earlier this year, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We ain't gonna be that long before that's about a full year.
Yep.
So this year's flying by, and it'll be that year point before you know it. So yeah, like I get the vibe she kind of just collecting the paychecks for real, for real. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you. I feel like she's Kevin Nashing right now.
She just vibing.
Like yeah, I think she Kevin Nashing. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I think she just collecting the paychecks. She already made it known she'll go back to WWE when the time is right, and I think she just collecting that moolah. You know what I'm saying? Just being a carbon copy of, of Sasha Banks minus, you know, the other extra stuff.
Sasha ain't never been good on the mic unless she was calling someone a bitch. Then she gets a pop. Yeah, because she puts emphasis in bitch. You're like, bitch. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
hold on.
that's true. I mean, it never was her strong suit. Like her in ring skills have always been her strong suit. But I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. She's trending down that way, bro. Hopefully she recovers.
Pre-injury Mercedes when she was in New Japan was something special.
Mm-hmm.
But then the injury, I feel like that injury shook her confidence a little bit, and she just been very careful. So
It's
it's kind of
possible.
like, you can call out the flaws of her current run, but at the same time show a little grace. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That is like, okay, the injury shook her confidence a little bit because I know a couple of wrestlers whose injury shook their confidence.
Yeah.
And it took them a while to kind of bounce back and get in that groove to where you're like, oh, okay. Because the matches like she had, Stephanie Valkyrie, Willow, Sheeta, the first time. The second time I wasn't really vibing with it. Like certain moments you can be like, okay, she's getting in that groove. And then she just steps back and just chill.
Mm-hmm.
And they're barely doing anything with this Camille pairing. I thought it was the way she was like CEO corporations or something like that. I thought she was gonna have a faction.
Yeah, it felt like they were going to lean that way, but maybe they still could. Maybe they're just trying to find somebody else that fits what they're doing. Who knows? But yeah, yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Camille either. I mean, it's kind of one of those things. I'm like, all right, well, I guess we gotta wait and see. I still think she probably should have went the WWE route, but I can understand why she would come to AEW because AEW just don't book big people well. Like including the women, it seems like if you're a
You see what they did
powerhouse,
with Powerhouse Hobbs,
Wardlow, Brian
Wardlow.
Cage.
He just won. He just won the ROH TV title, by the way, on the pre-show.
See the pre-show, and it's ROH. ROH. You see what I'm saying? Another thing that you just continue to throw in our face over there too. Like why? Never mind. Just that's why I hated that from the jump when they bought that because I'm just like yeah nah. I really wish somebody else would have bought ROH, but it's all good.
Apparently, Wardlow was out with a knee injury. Knee injury or not, Tony still don't know how to put that back.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I'm gonna say on this before we talk about what's next for after that main event.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Tony has this thing where he doesn't know how to strike when the iron is hot. He waits too long
Mm-hmm.
to where after a while people just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So that's another thing he needs to fix. Like if the iron is hot, just go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't delay it.
I.e. MJF and Adam Cole.
I.e. MJF and this Wardlow situation. Remember when he was hot?
Oh yeah.
I.e. Powerhouse Hobbs when he won the TNT title.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people he had buzz behind him. It's like Some people only have so much patience for it. They just, you know what, screw it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, bro. I don't know, man. It just, yeah. This show was like I said, it was just a show for the most part.
I tried to order the on demand, but they didn't give me. They said I wasn't in the right region, so I used the hot box. Y'all fault.
Yeah, that's about what I had to do too, broski. I
But
saw
yeah,
the
the Konosuke Takeshita winning the international
national
championship.
title.
This is another prime example of Tony taking too long to strike while the iron is hot.
Mm-hmm.
It's plenty of times he should have been champion.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a it's more. This is more of those. Well, it's about damn time.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, I agree, man. Yeah, this Callis family thing and just this is just like, all right,
And
now what?
that's another thing that's just the same shit over and over again.
Yeah, and I need a list of this Callis family thing because I'm like, man, at this point, who do you even have left, brother?
Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. And maybe Powerhouse Hobbs when he comes back, because wasn't he in that faction before he got injured?
He was, and I feel like by the time he gets back, he'll be one of those out of family too.
Mm.
It just shows. You know that man's gonna be some type of baby.
Dylan Callis is a terrible father.
You know who isn't a terrible father? The man that we did not see on this show. That's waiting in the wings. Yes, sir. Mr. Turtleneck himself. You know, just saying, man. Don Callis could learn a lesson from that guy. I'm just saying, you know, how to be a great father.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's facing Jay White on Wednesday.
Oh boy. Boy, they just. Oh yeah, Hangman. You think they booked themselves in a corner with that, don't you? Like that.
Oh, they did.
Why would you put? That's what I'm talking about. Why would you put somebody fresh off a hot storyline and finally getting his win against Swerve? This man easily should have been in the AEW title picture. True. Some are even saying that he should have been the one to take that title off of Bryan. I know he requested for it to be Moxley, but still, this guy is floating now, and he just took a loss to a guy who had to get a win because he just got back. Why would you make that match? Like,
I think this story is Jay White wants revenge for people who he feels responsible for him being on the shelf. First Hangman and now Christian Cage. So another revenge storyline.
I guess I'm over that too. These revenge storylines are pissing me off. Like, dog, because Jamie Hayter, another one we didn't talk about in that women's division. Talk about floating, dog. You debut her on the pre-show, and then on top of that, not only do you debut her on the pre-show, she's just been floating with Paige.
She's beefing with Penelope Ford. She's beefing with Penelope Ford now.
Penelope Ford, yes.
Yeah, Penelope Ford.
My point exactly. What in the entire freak? Also, best wishes, because, apparently had a miscarriage, so best wishes to her. But, why? For why?
Vibes.
For what? This woman easily should have been catapulted right there, fresh out of Toni Storm, going after Mariah May. The woman never lost the title. Well, she didn't lose the title.
She lost it injured.
Yeah. Technically,
vibes.
she had it right. But
vibes.
I don't know, man. It's just like they got top stars that they don't treat like top stars, and they should be bigger than what they are.
They did protect Hangman with the knee injury thing.
I saw that.
But at the same time, he still shouldn't have lost.
Yeah, because only that only works for so long. It's still a clean win, even with a injury, right? It's still a clean win.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of like, it's still lost though. So I don't know, man. Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah,
That was interesting.
that was a
Swerve
Dynamite
makes.
segment. I'm like, you literally could put that on Dynamite. I watched it twice, and I'm like, nothing. He just said no. He could have. Swerve, you could have tweeted that.
Probably, probably. And
You
and
could
the
just
thing
said
about it
no.
is, people
But
look
I,
at
I
that.
get it. He was in his home state or
Yeah,
hometown, whichever one comes first. So they wanted to get him on the show, but damn, that really could have
I
been a
know.
Dynamite segment.
And some people were like, "Oh man, we thought we were gonna get Bobby Lashley here." Nah, they did right because you got MJF back and Adam Cole back, so
You don't want to
you can't
overdo it.
have too many of those. Yeah, people are gonna get overshadowed. So the fact that it's MJF and Adam Cole, pleasant double whammy of surprises.
Speaking of MJF and Adam Cole, a lot of people are kind of upset or
Confused,
confused that Cole came back as the babyface as
as they
opposed
should.
to the heel during the whole Undisputed Kingdom thing. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
guessing we're just going to assume that this devil storyline is just dead in the water. Don't nobody want to talk about it. Don't nobody want to acknowledge it. We're just moving forward and moving on.
Do what you want to do, Anthony. Do what you want to do. Have fun. Have fun. That's all I will say. Just welcome back,
Because
Adam Cole.
in my mind, I just wrote it off because I saw a tweet and I just replied to it. I was just like, in my head canon, MJF returned as a babyface and attacked Cole, who was the heel. But
Mm-hmm.
since his feud with Daniel Garcia, MJF turned heel. So they was like, ain't nobody gonna boo Cole, who's returning from a near career-ending injury.
Mm-hmm.
So they just said, fuck it. You're the baby face. You're the heel. That's my head canon. And it's like, I'm more at peace with that head canon than trying to wrap my brain around them making us sit through all that devil nonsense.
To be honest, I'm also getting Matt Hardy vibes with it because of the fact that Britt Baker is no longer with Adam Cole. So I just feel like, oh, they're sympathizing with this guy because they
Plus,
now
they
know
have
it's Britt Baker.
beef. Plus, they just have beef in general. So it makes sense. But in my head canon, if you're trying to go with continuity, it's more so, hey, MJF is a heel now. It wouldn't make sense for Cole to come back as a heel.
Nah, facts.
Don't
Yeah.
overthink it.
Hey, man. Like I said, do what you want to do, Anthony. By all means, whatever, bro. It's your show. You feel me? It's just like, hey, we're gonna rock with it. But I
Last
guess
thing on
main
this
event, right? That's
is
really
basically the main event. What was your thoughts on this? Because the way that they booked this match, you can tell that they was going with the sympathetic babyface. Every time Bryan tried to rally, Mox had pretty much sucked the air out of the building every time he hit a move. He had the Death Rider on the concrete and choked him out pretty much to become a 4-time. I believe this is the first ever 4-time AEW World Champion in Jon Moxley. So this was beyond polarizing as far as the reaction online and in the building. What's your thoughts on this?
I like the way the match started. Final Countdown playing throughout the entire freaking match. You know, that was so perfect. That was money well spent. Tony, you did good on that. I will say that. So that just I never looked at that as a fighting song. It's just like, oh wow, yeah, that actually is a really good brawl song. Just the final countdown. But I thought that was kind of cool. Watching them brawl to that. I do like when they do that because the last time they did something like that was Anarchy in the Arena, and that got a little annoying. But they did that. But I like how they did that. They shouldn't do it all the time, but when they decide to do it, that's a sick picture. I like how they did that. But this I like this Moxley character. This new version of it. This like sicko serial killer like esque. Giving some Stone Cold vibes just a little bit with the goatee-ish bald, but hey. it's only so many looks white brothers can do, when it comes to that. So hey, if he wasn't getting Stone Cold comparisons before when he was Dean Ambrose, there you go. But he's more of a psychotic character, so
It's always funny with those comparisons when Stone Cold literally ripped him to shreds on his podcast in like 2016.
Yeah,
I remember called him lazy.
I remember that. I do remember that. But yeah, no, I thought the match was cool. I liked the way the air got sucked out the building when the finish happened. Heck, even I was kind of thrown off, like, whoa, wait, that just because it didn't feel like a pass out for a second there, and I was like, oh no, yeah, the match is over. Wow. The ending of all of that was interesting.
It gave me Infinity War.
Yeah, it was given Infinity War, and it was given when Taker lost the streak too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, big gasp. And I'm like, come on, people, what did you expect? You knew he was going to lose this.
He kept saying he was going to get neck surgery. They was just like, bro, just take the title off of him at this point.
Yeah, and I'm just like, did the fans not see this come? Like, you knew he was going to lose at WrestleDream. The moment you found out it was in his home, like, you knew it. So I was like, all right, cool. But
Bryan has a kink for getting destroyed by Shield members.
He does, doesn't he? Wow. Yeah.
Roman in his final WWE match and Mox in his final full-time career match.
Hey, bro, it is what it. That ending, the sacrificial lamb of taping Darby up against the ring post. Oh, Wheeler Useless are finally deciding to join the side and be with the rest of the crew. I'm like, ugh.
And I did not care.
Me either. I was actually kind of hoping you'd stay a babyface, but whatever. Sure, you can be a part of that crew too. Why not? And so it was like
they basically delayed it. It's like, yeah, well, he's not going to agree right off the gate. He's going to be hesitant for a little bit, and then he's going to finally join. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they could have just replaced him with Marina Shafir. She's doing way better in that role. You'll forget all about that guy, truth be told. But hey, it is what it is. Oh yeah, to you marks out there that was expecting Shane McMahon. Ha 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 ha. I don't know what made you think you were going to get that either. That would have overshadowed everything. No, that's not happening. So stop with the rumors. If it happens, it happens. But stop expecting things that's going to leave you to go, what's our number one rule, Gresh, when it comes to these things? Okay? Don't get hopes up.
Yes, please. Just
because then you're just setting yourself up for a downfall that you set yourself up for. Not Tony Khan, not Triple H. You set yourself up for it. Stop it. just.
I understand fantasy booking. Trust me. I literally made a whole YouTube career of fantasy booking. Mm-hmm. But sometimes just let that shit play out.
Yeah. Just let it play out. Just let it play out. Now, obviously, there is a higher power somewhere based off, I did like.
Do you think that they need a higher power? Or do you think Moxley is dangerous enough on his own?
Oh, he definitely is. Like, he's head in charge, but they're definitely working for someone. Like, the thing is, they freaking heist that belt. They put that thing in a duffel bag.
Yep, but they say, yeah, fuck this belt.
Yeah, like, that belt is going back to someone. Like, yeah, he's champ, but that belt's going back to someone. So, I'm not going to sit here and say it's Shane. It could be, but if it ain't him, it's somebody. And we'll just be prepared to be shocked for whoever it is. But,
unless they pull it's me, Austin. Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, this war thing, though, is interesting. It's a little intriguing in terms of, like, AEW versus them. And I'm like, huh.
Here's where they lose me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't we still technically in the middle of AEW versus the Elite?
Yep, supposedly.
So why are we doing another AEW versus right after sitting through AEW versus the Elite?
WCW Light.
I'm intrigued. Don't get me wrong, but my mind immediately went like, wait, didn't we just do this?
Yeah, you see how that worked out. You see how that worked out. Exactly.
Like blood and guts, anarchy in the arena. Like we just did this,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going from one AEW versus to another one.
Mm-hmm.
TNA all over again.
WCW all
No,
over.
bump WCW. I wasn't really watching WCW. I was a WWF guy. But TNA, I sat through TNA. And which was pretty much inspired by WCW.
You're
but
damn
I'm just
right.
saying, I'm going based off of my recent memory. TNA. Remember, TNA versus Main Event Mafia. TNA versus Immortal. TNA versus Aces and Eights. TNA versus GFW. TNA versus Moose and them niggas. TNA versus, remember, Honor No More. That's what I'm saying. We're doing too many verses. I need a break.
Bruh.
Stop it.
WCW light, man. They did. You go. You
When
always
because yes, for sure. Because my brain immediately went there. I'm like, yo, we just said we're still technically going through AEW versus the Elite. Why are we doing this again?
Yeah, he remember, he's a fanboy. So the reason I keep saying WCW is because that's what he's gonna mimic the most. Because that's where he came up from.
At one point, he was mimicking ECW.
Yeah, I'm about to say he's mimicking all of those. He's mimicking ECW, he's mimicking WCW, and at times he kind of mimics WWE even when he doesn't want to admit or acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like
wrestling is wrestling. Everybody mimics everybody, but it's okay to admit it too, especially if you have highs.
See, the difference is he actually admits it when it comes to the other companies. He don't admit that when it comes to WWE though. That's what I'm saying. I listened to an interview with this man recently, and I heard him talk about every other company except WWE, and I'm like,
the enemy.
I see you trying to act like you don't take these niggas' talents, as do they take yours. But I mean, as soon as they release something, you quick to grab them in the first 90 days. You be like, oh, all right, come on over to AEW where it's bigger and brighter, and then within a couple weeks after the shiny new toy is not so shiny, they're in purgatory, somewhere in Collision or Rampage.
Yep. So last thing I'll say on this is I saw a tweet from SGT Viper. When it comes to, he had a good comparison for Moxley as world champion. A full-blown dictator wanting to fix the company versus a man who was always ready to die for it since day one. Basically him versus Darby Allin. That's basically what they're building, is either Darby or Orange Cassidy, but they're putting Darby and Orange Cassidy in the front line. That was the name of the TNA group. It was the front line versus Main Event Mafia. But they're basically putting Darby and Orange Cassidy in the front line, because you saw that final closing shot. You saw Darby, Daniel Garcia, Orange Cassidy, and Hook.
They're actual pillars, it seems.
They're new pillars. And matter of fact, honestly, don't do pillars. The last time you did that shit, didn't work. Just the top guys. Let's just go there. Tony, let's go with that.
Man, listen.
But yeah, that was AEW WrestleDream. That's our all over the place thoughts and opinions on that. Like I said, I actually enjoyed moments of the show, but my opinion stands. It wasn't really worth $50. It wasn't worth my $50.
Nah.
That's why we didn't even bother doing predictions last week, because it was like, we're gonna watch it out of curiosity, but we were just not sold on it. All right, but before we get into our betting odds, I guess we can catch up on, speed through, or really catch up and summarize Raw and SmackDown. Raw was taped yesterday. That was a tape show because they're in the UK. And I guess we can start with SmackDown. My highlights of the SmackDown was Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso. They need help. What's your thoughts on where we're going with this? Because I guess that can blend into Raw because we saw the backstage exchange between twin brothers.
Yeah. Jay basically saying F y'all. It's pretty much that simple. And I love it. I'm like, he ain't forgot at this point. But I ain't forgot what you put me through at the start of this little bloodline that you had, Roman. And I ain't forget what you put me through, costing me so many title matches opportunities, sir. So, yeah, both of y'all can go to hell. That's the way I looked at it with Jay. So I'm just like, yes, Jay. Strut your stuff, brother. Now, I don't know what this means for next week, given this Intercontinental title match. I don't know. Part of me wants Braun to lose again, but then I'm like, shoot, I don't know. You don't want to flip-flop this IC title that much, but then I'm like, I don't know, bro. I don't know where they're going to go with this at this point.
I saw the discourse on Twitter, and I saw someone's fantasy booking. It could have been, I think it was Visionary Mike or somebody. They was like, they see Jimmy inadvertently costing Jay the title, as opposed to him losing, as opposed to him actually doing it on purpose. And I also saw somebody else say he could help him retain the title just as a good faith. But Jay still rejected because he's like, now you out here tanking my title matches again. Because no matter what, no matter what's good or bad, his family is always at the center of it. Or at the scene of the crime, I should say.
The second scenario could happen, but then I'd so more just say JB upset at the fact that, literally Braun just said, the difference between us is I haven't had my family lean on and rely on and help me out. If he does that, then that completely defeats the purpose again. Because it'd be like, yes, the first time you beat me clean, can you beat me clean a second time? If Jimmy actually, dare I say, out of good faith, helps out just to try to get back in good graces with his brother, then now you just proved Braun Breaker right. There you go again, leaning on your family. And that's going to piss Jay off because it's going to be like, I've beaten you without my family and I didn't need my family to beat you. I don't know. It's an interesting twist and turn. I'm very interested, per usual, with this bloodline.
Or he could just flat out win clean.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping it's just that because he doesn't have to drop the title just because of his storyline with Bloodline versus Bloodline. Like, I would love for him to still be IC champ with Roman not having a title, just so it further shows like I don't need you. Yeah, like I don't need you. I want this. Yeah, exactly. Like, I want a championship by myself. Main event Jey Uso. I can't wait for that interaction. Roman's
either that or they go the predictable route and have Solo and them cost him the title.
Oh God, I forgot about that. Yeah, that could happen. That could happen.
Yeah,
you are so right. That very well could happen.
Yeah.
Because then that just gives him a reason to actually want to join with them if that happens. But let's hope it's not the case. Let's hope he actually just like
those are the three scenarios that we just put out into the world. So whichever one happens, you can blame us for it.
Yeah.
So but I definitely expect some shenanigans to happen next week. Luckily next week is live, so we won't have to worry about it being taped. Let's see what else happened over this past weekend. Did anything else happen between Raw and SmackDown?
Carmelo Hayes losing to LA Knight, so looks like Hayes is getting another opportunity if he beats Andrade in round 7 with them.
Oh my God!
Whoever wins round 7 gets a shot at LA Knight. From what I understand.
Can I be honest? I need them to just make this a triple threat match and call it a day because I enjoy Melo and Andrade, but my God, it's the same shit at this point. And I was dreading that was going to happen.
Well, I mean, right now, who else do they have in the mid-card scenario anyway? AJ Styles kind of took himself out of it by getting hurt again. So it's like,
They can build up the bald dudes, Apollo and Baron, if they want to.
oh God, where them niggas been? Oh yeah,
Was it just vibing?
yeah.
And I'm not
I
complaining in
guess.
no way, shape, or form, but I just need them to switch it up though. After this match, I need them to give Melo something.
Yeah, give
Of
Melo
substance.
something. Give LA Knight. I mean, he already beat Melo clean, so clearly, and he beat Andrade clean. So really,
Mhm.
he just needs a new opponent. Period. Outside of these two, like it's like, bro, he already beat both of y'all clean. So technically, he needs somebody new. But I don't know. Now, Wyatt Six, I can't tell if they're
What are they
targeting.
doing?
Well, it seems like they're either targeting Miz or they're targeting Karrion Kross in the crew. I can't tell yet. That's the only thing. I can't tell. But it's because it flashed during that. So I'm like, okay, you're either targeting Karrion Kross in them or you're targeting the Miz. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I guess it would make sense on the Miz maybe, but I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell. But
Well, that
my only
sounds
other thought. Well, yeah. My thought to you is this 2 hour thing, bro. Is it still sinking in with you yet? Because
Now I
this
like
show
this
still
week better than last week. It wasn't
okay.
as chaotic.
Okay.
They gave
I don't know. It's
everybody promo packages for the, who didn't have a match. So I'm like, they're getting their groove for the 2 hours again, even though it's like it shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, I did see that. It still just felt kind of somewhat rushed to me for some reason. I don't know why. But I was like, okay, cool. I'm so tired of this Raquel thing, this Rhea.
I'm just
Liv,
over the feud in general. You already
please.
know how I feel about it. I said it last week, and
Yeah,
I'm
like,
not finna beat the dead horse. I'm like, just
and I really was kind of hoping Tiff was gonna cash in. I was like, oh man, dang, that would have been so lovely. But of course, that wasn't
I
gonna
feel like she's
happen.
still gonna cash in, but she's gonna cash in on Nia
Oh,
at
for
Crown
sure. I
Jewel.
just wanted her to actually cash in on Liv, and I like Liv a lot. But I was like, yes. But they're making it too obvious now for Nia to just force her and be like, hey, yeah, here she is, cash in. It's like now you're setting her up to cash in on you. Enjoyed that. Too freaking short. That's all I got to say about that.
I
Give
feel
me
like
more.
I feel like a lot of people that general consensus. They were
Mm-hmm.
on Raw. They interfered and caused damage control, so they're going to face them on NXT next Tuesday.
Yeah, I figured much.
So they're doing more crossovers, which is lets me know that they have great
Speaking of which,
confidence in them.
yeah. Speaking of which, the women's tag team titles. Let me brag on those a little bit right now. Triple H really, 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 really has tried to make those, and he's doing good so far. They're not as dead in the water as they used to be. Like now, they're actually featuring actual women's tag teams now. You know, Unholy Union, the Meta Girls, uh, Piper and Chelsea are still technically a thing. Damage Control, uh, Caden Carter and Katana Chance. Um, who am I missing? I think that's a lot more than previous tag teams they've had in the past. I can tell you that much.
The
So,
Pure Fusion Collective.
oh yeah, yeah, them. For if you care, yeah, for them, yeah. I know you don't. I know you. I'm for the audience out there. If you care, uh, but yeah, bro. Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that Bianca. I don't know. I mean, they're running through this division, so I have no idea. I hope by the time they revisit Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, hopefully they're the ones to take the titles off of them. I guess, but I don't know who would do it.
I
Truth
doubt
be
it.
told. I feel like it's gonna be one of those bedfellow super tag teams, like a Charlotte Flair and somebody that does it.
You say Charlotte Flair?
Yeah, Charlotte Flair, and insert whatever other blonde you want to.
All right.
Tell me I'm lying now. I mean, just
No, you're not. It's just I'm just ready for them to pick up the heat.
Yeah.
Across the board, WWE and AEW. Like it might just have something to do with I'm just not that interested in Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel is just there.
Yeah, it is just there. I mean, we both kind of looking at that like whatever. I mean, and then it's a bootleg Survivor Series at that, the way they're building it. They're doing exactly.
Because that's what took up most of the other non-bloodline women storylines was basically champion versus champion. You had Nia Jax attacking Liv Morgan attacking Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley for some reason. Rhea Ripley's still involved in the story.
Yeah.
And then Rhea Ripley running through Raquel. So it's like, what's the point? You're useless at this point. Then you got Cody and Gunther exchanging jabs on Raw. So it's like Gunther calling him a secondary champion and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's hilarious given the fact that, like, I mean, I like how Cody bounced back with that because I'm like, bro, Gunther, I get it, bro. You feel like you did, but you must have forgot. I'm like, nah, player. You the secondary champion, in all due respect, my guy. I mean, that's just point blank, period. You brought a lot of prestige to some titles, and you bring one to that, but you were clearly the secondary champion.
Yeah, you are the title that exists because they didn't want to split the Universal and World and WWE titles.
Yeah, like let's never get.
And they still acknowledge them as separate titles.
Exactly. You know
so technically, there's 3 world champions. You're the greatest number 3.
But yeah, man. Notice the difference in the men and the women with this Crown Jewel thing. They haven't even touched once. Pause, just in case. But they not even one bit of physicality. Meanwhile, women already within 2 or 3 times have already like come on each other's shows and attacked each other. And I'm like, well, that goes to show how much they care. I'm like, all right, cool. They know how much prestigious value it is with them two. That's why I'm mad that we're getting this at a Crown Jewel of all places. But hey, they got to do this.
It's on a Saturday, November 2nd, 1 p.m. The day after rent is due. You know, the whole 9.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's whatever. You know, just going to throw side matches around this. Yeah, I mean, I guess Cody Gunther's the only intriguing thing about it in terms of who they decide to go over with for what it matters.
And that's only so much.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Not because of them, but just because of what they're putting on the line for. Yeah. But another note, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Cody got his hands full because he got this to deal with, and then he got Mr. Voice of Reason, as they're calling Randy right now. At some point,
what are they doing with that? Is Randy going to eventually turn? Because he got attacked by Kevin Owens. So I'm guessing that turn is not happening anytime soon.
Nah, something tells me that's going to happen closer to maybe Royal Rumble. It's coming, but I feel like the way they're doing this, I don't know, man. Because some people are saying, like, when it comes to the Bloodline, backtracking to that for a brief second, they're talking about this 4th person, and some are suggesting Sammy be that 4th person for Roman's Bloodline. Makes sense, yes, but also they're like, it also sparks Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn's rivalry again because Kevin Owens is mad at Cody for joining up with Roman. So who else would he be mad with? Sami Zayn for joining with Roman on that, to where it re-sparks that rivalry kind of thing.
And my thing with that one is, you know how everybody apologizing to Jay? Mm-hmm. No one should apologize to Sammy because Sammy betrayed Roman. Not the other way around.
No, that's true. That is true. I think it would just the only thing Roman would apologize to Sammy for is how he treated Sammy.
Like, yeah, that's about it. That's exactly where the apology should stop.
Yeah, like I used you, just to continue my own glorification and this, that. Made fun of you really in a sense to some degree, but yeah. But yeah, this is I guess Randy and Kevin Owens in an actual feud. They look like I guess they'll probably face each other at Crown Jewel. I'm guessing maybe, and then it sparks to KO Cody at Survivor Series maybe. I don't know.
Probably.
And
Because I don't think Cody's answering War Games.
oh, of course not. No, he's not going to be in that. That's why it's like, if anything, it's probably Sammy, because what else does he have to do anyway, when you think about it? That Gunther thing wrapped up, so he's kind of floating where he could technically join that bloodline. And then...
Oh, yeah, basically where he kind of convinces, Jay to join.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, either he can convince, or, when they
Or
get
to hear
Jay,
him out. Because you know how Jimmy was like, can I just talk to you?
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, get out my face.
Yeah. Because that's probably what Jimmy's going to do. Eventually, he's probably going to just try to find Sammy and talk to Sammy and get Sammy to talk to Jimmy. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're going to do next.
I respect it.
Yeah. But, yeah, man, that's pretty much it that I know of from both of these shows that was of any significance, major headlines right now.
I feel like that's the show then.
Yeah, that's pretty much the show. As far as NXT, who's the number one contender?
Ethan Page.
Oh, great. Goodness gracious.
It's a gimmick match, so Trick is going to retain, obviously. They're doing Oba and Tony D again in a tables, ladders, and scares match, which is basically a TLC match. To where Tony's going to retain without Oba getting pinned. You know the whole spiel. Carmen Petrovic is submitting with Ashanti D. Adonis.
I knew it. I knew she liked them brothers. I freaking knew it. I told you. I knew it. I freaking knew it. I told you, bruh. I told you she liked them brothers. I knew it. God dang. You ain't just swinging swords for no reason, god dang it. Yeah, there's a reason you be swinging them.
No, it ain't even just that. She listens to 50 Cent. Willingly. And she had her own detailed opinion about the Drake and Kendrick beef.
Hey man.
So she definitely loved them brothers.
I told you, bro. You was like, nah, she looked like type to run away from him. This is that. I was like, nah, I think she like.
Yeah, that was just me judging the book by its cover. I'm a judgmental person. It happens.
I know. You is. I felt it. I said, yeah.
I love judging people. It's fun.
Speaking of which, though, there is one thing about NXT that I found very interesting and made me think of you, brother. And I said, oh, she's back. Nikita Lyons. Back
She's
in
so
NXT.
outdated. It's not even funny.
Yeah. She's probably lost in the shuffle at this point.
I was also lost in her shuffle. Her kneecaps. Having 2 knee braces before the age of 30 is crazy.
Well, she didn't get blessed with the Meg knees, I guess.
Nope.
Dang. Well.
Crazy. But she won against Lola Vice because of Jada Parker, so they just basically had a thick-ass segment.
I ain't mad at that. I'm going to go watch that one. I'll definitely go watch that one. Hey, yeah, I'm going to put that on YouTube right after the show. Yes, sir. Let's go. All right.
But other than that, yeah, this week was just it was solid for the most part. Like it was whatever. Like we was gonna do betting odds for Crown Jewel. I guess we can say Tiffany Stratton cashes in on the Women's World WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax after some shenanigans, and I can see Gunther winning because of outside interference.
That's an interesting betting odd. I'm gonna go against that cash in. That would be stupid to do that if you're doing this Jewel Championship thing. That would be kind of dumb to get cashed in on. But I mean, yeah. I feel like Trips ain't really caring about Crown Jewel like that to waste the cash in on Crown Jewel.
True.
You know, I feel like he'd save that for like a Survivor Series, a Royal Rumble, something. One of them bigger shows, you know. But we'll see. I like the better nod though. We'll see. You know, I could be wrong.
Yeah,
Makes the show watchable. You know.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just to spice it up a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, that is pretty much our show. We went into a mini AEW rant about everything that's going on. It's out of love. We're not AEW haters. It's just more so like I'm checked out. Hi-Lite, he's beyond checked out. We will definitely be watching because they got Mercedes versus Queen Aminata on Dynamite tomorrow for the TBS title. Jay White versus Christian Cage. I believe the Learning Trees, Big Bill and Brian Keith against somebody. They got the Elite versus the Conglomeration, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and Adam Cole is back, so he's probably gonna cut a promo. Jon Moxley is gonna probably likely cut a promo. Nobody is safe is their tagline, so they're definitely going full Infinity War on this one. But other than that, yeah, that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we got. Hopefully you enjoyed us over here on Tuesday. We will be back next week at 9:45. I had a show next Tuesday, but they moved it to Wednesday, Thursday instead of Tuesday, Wednesday. So we will be back here next week. I will likely be moved into my current space 100%, hopefully. So yeah, we will be good to go here. No all shit, here we go again with Rufus Lala on Monday because I will be spending Sunday and Monday moving. So 100%. Other than that, yeah, what you got coming up this week?
Nothing really for this week, bro. I'm be on hiatus for the weekend, man. So I'll be on like a D&D kind of mode. You feel me?
I'm like that every day.
Before be on a D&D kind of getaway for the weekend. So I catch y'all next weekend. You know what I'm saying? We got some stuff coming up next week for sure. But yeah, that's really it, man. That's all I got.
Yeah. So outside of that, we on the road. I believe. Yeah, we are closer to 100 episodes by the week, and then we're probably going to try to prep for the end of the year awards a month early. Probably start in November, so that way we could be ready to go for these. Like instead of waiting until the month of December to just throw some stuff together, we'll probably start prepping as soon as possible. Something fun for those of you who are new around here. We just give our superstar of the year. We let you guys vote. Oh, the whole nine. So yeah, but other than that, hopefully, apologies for the demeanor, the chill vibes. If you guys enjoy the chill vibes, we'll promise to be more upbeat. I've been tired all day because I've been literally moving a lot of stuff back and forth all day, so my energy is kind of not at like a 60. But hopefully, we'll be back at 100 by the time I get back into town next week. Other than that, hopefully you guys keep it tuned in, keep it locked in at Hi-Lite Life. That is my boy Hi-Lite Reels handles everywhere. You can check out OTS Media Co., his home for all of his media content, including Life's a Boss podcast, which is still currently on hiatus. You can also check out at Gresh Digital, which is the home of all things Gresh Unleashed, all shit, here we go again, all the good stuff. You can catch me this Thursday on the Public Enemies podcast on I will be out of town, so I will be on Central Time. So I believe that would be 6:15 Central Time, 7:15 Eastern. So hopefully you guys stay tuned in, stay locked in with all we got going on, and hopefully you guys continue to just stay safe out here because the holidays are coming up. People start acting crazy around Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. So hopefully you guys continue to stay safe, stay strong, and just spread love as much as possible. But with that being said, you guys stay safe out here in these streets. And remember to always eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. We out. Y'all be crazy. I am about to leave so I can go to sleep.